I just can't gatekeep this because I consistently hear this advice over and over again from some of the most high achieving people out there. And I need to share with you exactly what it is. But you're probably gonna think I'm a little mad by how much detail I'm about to go into, but it's worth it, though it's not for the weak. So let's get into it. The most consistent advice I hear high achieving people give aspiring high achievers is to make an ideal schedule for yourself. In your perfect world, what would you be doing every day, week by week? There's that famous quote that people overestimate how much time they have in a day and underestimate how much time they have in a year. If you make an ideal weekly schedule that has you doing the things that you consistently need to do, you will get where you want to go. So there are two different ways you can go about doing this. One can be a visualization technique and the other can be a way to make sure that you are making progress on your goals. And I'm going to focus on the latter. If you wanted to do a visualization technique, that would be applicable if you currently are living a life that is drastically different than the one you want to live. Let's say you have a 9-to-5 job and you want to work for yourself. Obviously, your schedule would look very different if you worked for yourself. So if you want to visualize, you don't need to do any of the steps I'm about to go through. The steps are for goal setting. The visualization one is mostly just to allow yourself to dream about what your life could be. So let's get into the goal setting one. So here's the first thing you have to do. You have to get clear on your long-term and short-term goals. So I want you to take out a piece of paper, and yes, it has to be a piece of paper, and this is what you're gonna do. This is the Passion Planner Roadmap. You can Google Passion Planner Roadmap to get this PDF, but I recommend you can just write it out. Set a timer for 5 to 10 minutes and brain dump. Write down literally anything. Do not limit yourself. What do you want your life, or what do you want to have achieved in 3 months, 1 year, 3 year, and lifetime? So now you have a good mix of long-term and short-term goals. The thing people get caught up on is they try to do too much at once, and then they end up doing nothing. So the next step is to narrow down your goals to 2 to 3 active projects. Now let me tell you what I mean by that. I told you this video was going to be in depth. You'll see I've split these up into 3 categories: bucket list, active investment, and passive income. I took that language from Ali Abdaal. You can think about this as active or passive energy investments, right? You can only handle doing so much, especially if you have a 9-to-5 and you have a social life and you have obligation. There's a lot to unpack here. If people care, I can make a more in-depth video, but if I keep going, this will be like 3 years long. So let's just start really quickly. Passive on this side are things that I'm doing without having to think about it. These were things I started to work on this year, and now I am consistently doing them without having to make myself do them. I do not have to put forth any active energy. So they are in the passive category. The 3 projects in the active category, I have to make sure I do them, and I have to set aside time to make sure I'm making effort towards them. And then the bucket list ones are, they're there, they exist. I have set an intention to make time for them in the future, but I cannot prioritize them all the time. You're gonna look at what you wrote down in the first step, and you're going to pick 2 to 3 active projects, and then write the rest down as bucket lists because we're gonna save them for another time. This is the crucial step. What do you have to do every day, every week, every month, or every quarter to make these things happen? And you better bet your girl has a Notion outline for that also, okay? And yeah, I've redacted some stuff because I don't like to share my business, okay? Like, I'm not gatekeeping the methods, I'm gatekeeping my personal stuff, okay? You can see up here, daily, every other day, weekly, 2 times per month, and then I have other categories that you can't see on the all the way on the other side. I have monthly, I have quarterly, I have every 6 weeks, and I set it up that way. And realistically, you're gonna start seeing that you wanna try to do a lot of stuff every day, and you're like, I can't do that much stuff every day. Breaking it down like this, you'll see that the goal is attached to the actual action. It makes you realize just how little time you have every day and how much time you have when you spread that out over longer terms. So now you have a list, okay? And that list, you're probably gonna have too many things on the daily section. It's just a reality. But what you can do is go through your list and see, where can I fit this in my current life? And if it ends up being too much to do every day, then you have to adjust, or you need to drop one of your active goals. This is where the final stage of making the actual schedule comes in. Go through, add sleep to your schedule, add your work schedule, add your commute time, add your getting ready time. I spend an hour getting ready to go out if I'm going out somewhere. You need to write literally every second of your day down, and you will see how little time you actually have. You will see how precious your time is. You will realize how you need to be more intentional. I could talk about this for literal hours. So if you want more, let me know. I can do a walkthrough of like making a schedule or something like that. I recommend doing it in Google Calendar or Outlook or like iCal, whatever you use, so that when you're actually using your calendar in your real schedule, like not your ideal schedule, you can literally have it open and flick back to it and be like, what should I be doing right now if this was my ideal week? And I also recommend making the visualization calendar that I talked about in the beginning. If you want to drastically change your lifestyle, that is a really great way to get yourself excited about that. And also, if you are someone who has a 28-day cycle, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, you could also make a monthly one, because a lot of the people who give this advice for the weekly schedule are men. I think making a monthly one can be beneficial. I haven't done it for myself yet. Maybe I'll do that. Let me know if you want to see that. So tell me your questions. Are you excited about this? Did I overwhelm you? Are you scared? Tell me.